Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to explain one of JavaScript's most powerful concepts, closures. At first, closures can seem confusing, but at the end of this video, you understand what they are, why they exist, and we shall see a practical example. So without going any further, let us jump right in. First of all, before writing any code, let's define what a closure is. This happens when a function remembers variables from its outer scope, even after that outer function has finished executing. In simple terms, JavaScript allows inner function to remember the environment where it was created. So let us look at an example. Here we have a function, and this function, we shall call it the inner function. And we open our braces. Then inside it, I create a variable called count and we initialize it to 0. We say let count equal to 0. Then I create another function called inner function. And every time this function runs, we want it to increase the count by 1 and print it. So we say count plus plus, and then we want to print it. So we say console.log, and inside we say count. Instead of calling this inner function, instead we shall return it. We say return inner function. Now I call the outer function, but we want to store it in a variable named, let us maybe call it counter. And counter is equal to our outer function. Then we call the counter. Let us call it maybe 3 times. Now, when we run it, let us run it. It says outer function. I'm sorry, this was our outer function. So now every time we run it, it prints 1, 2, 3. So we notice something interesting here. Even though the outer function has already finished running, the inner function still remembers the variable count. That's exactly what a closure is. You might ask yourself, why does this happen? And the count doesn't disappear. Normally, local variables exist only while a function is running. But because inner function still needs access to count, JavaScript keeps that variable alive in memory. The inner function closes over or captures the variables from the outer function. That's why this feature is called a closure. Now, let us look at some real-world uses. Some common cases include creating private variables, building counters. We can also use these closures in event listeners, callbacks, and we use them also in React hooks like useState. So moving to our conclusion, a closure is created when an inner function remembers variables from its outer function, even after the outer function has finished executing. In our example, the counter function keeps remembering the count variable every time it's called. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you understand JavaScript closures. See you in the next tutorial.